I'm Jan Cuny. I work at the CISE Foundation, where I'm a program officer in the Computer Science Directorate. I've been very interested in education my whole life. I was a university professor for 20 years. I taught computer science, but I became increasingly concerned about the lack of women, the lack of underrepresented minorities, and the lack of persons with disabilities in computer science. That we're appealing to about 30% of the population, and the other 70% aren't participating at all. And to leave out 70% of our population is, it's a loss for them. It's a loss for us as a country too, as a society. It's an injustice, but it's really woven into the fabric of society, right? Kids at a very early age decide that computer science is for guys. When they market computers, when they first marketed computers to home computers, most of the early computers went into boys' bedrooms. Girls weren't seen as having any interest or roles in it. And that's self-perpetuating, right? Because if you have a group of men who are designing computers and building them, they're building them to interest people like them. Then you get to industry, you have a lot of men who are in industry, and when they go to hire people, they hire people who look like and act like them. And I think it just kind of perpetuates itself over time. Well, the problem is hard, right? And you have to understand that it's not going to go away overnight. So there's no magic bullet that we're going to use and we're going to fix all of this and it will be fixed. But it takes a sustained effort over a long period of time, and it takes a multifaceted approach. I've come to really believe that education is very key, very intricately involved, and so we fund education and broadening participation as one unit out of the same money. And so I gave, one of the things that we've done is we funded the development of the new College Board AP course. So the College Board still has a computer science AP course that's called CSA. It's a year of Java programming. So if you know nothing about computing, why would you want to do a year of Java programming, right? It's just not reasonable. And so we encouraged them to create a new course. It's called CS Principles. It took 8 years, a ton of money to fund that effort. They funded some, we funded some. And it was piloted by hundreds of teachers across the country. Faculty members are teaching it at universities now. And it just had its first official test 2 weeks ago, May 5th, and 51,000 kids took the test. So that's an amazing, amazing improvement. And we don't have the exact numbers on demographics. I think they're still not where they should be with respect to minorities or women, but they're much better than the previous course had been. So it's a big step forward. I think there's tons of reasons to have conferences like this, and I fund a lot of conferences similar to this. I think that computer science is so new, and even in places where it's flourishing, they're still getting their feet wet. They're trying different things. They're adding different classrooms. They're adding different courses. And so I think that people need to get together and talk about this. It's really important that we keep equity on the very front burner and that we make sure that all the curriculum we develop responds to that, make it relevant to all kids. So we need that reminder. And there are pockets of it happening all over the country, but the more you can bring those people together to talk about what they're learning, the faster the progress will be as a whole.